CBSN New York.
Right now in the Bronx, a council member is announcing new legislation to prevent hot car deaths. This comes after the tragic deaths of one-year-old twins in the Bronx last week. Let's listen in as this legislation is announced.
Sensors and technology in cars which already exist, the parents could buy, caretakers could buy to be in vehicles. Second, they will increase the penalties when it comes down to having tinted windows. We know in this particular incident, the car had tinted windows. Who knows if a passerby could have seen the children? Who knows when the parent got out of the car, would have looked back and would have been able to see the children? Third, we introduced the resolution calling upon the state of New York for our state legislatures to be able to pass finally a law like we have in many other states that will make it illegal to leave your child in the car. And last, legislation that resolution that will call upon the Congress for the Hot Car Act 2019 to finally pass. Is staggering and shocking that we still have in Congress that has not been able to pass this. Especially we call upon the Senate, the U.S. Senate, to finally move it forward, because we having children that are dying since 1990 to 2018. We had nearly 1,000 children that have died. It's inconceivable in a day and age when we have so much technology, when we have vehicles that already have the technology. And we call upon the lawmakers, the rest of the lawmakers. We commend Hyundai and Kia for having the technology already in the cars, and we're calling now upon all the lawmakers to make it standardized. So if Congress is not willing to push it forward at this moment, at least the lawmakers will make it standardized upon every single vehicle. And I say to the parents, we have app. The Waze app has a feature that would alert you about having a child in the car. The back seat app as well is available. At this moment, I'm going to ask for Sue Oriima from Kids and Cars to come forward. She's been a champion and an advocate in making sure that children do not find themselves, and you're going to be hearing about the latest incident that just recently took place. So we're beyond now the 22nd and 23rd child. Oh, en español. La semana pasada, los niños Luna y Phoenix murieron aquí mismito en Kingsbridge Avenue, porque un padre se le olvidó de dejar su hijo, sus gemelos, mellizos en el carro. Y por eso voy a introducir legislación requiriendo que hagan una ley que hace un requisito para que los padres tengan tecnología en los carros, avisando a los padres que cuando ellos salgan del carro, le están avisando que los niños están en el carro. También que los carros, que las multas se aumentan, porque cuando tienen las ventanas que están oscuras, muchas veces los padres no se pueden notar que los niños están detrás del carro, o si hay un vecino que se nota que dejaron los niños, y por eso vamos a aumentar esa multa. Tercero, en este estado no hay ninguna ley contra dejar un niño en el carro, y tenemos leyes contra los animales de dejarlos en los carros. No entiendo cómo eso es posible en este estado. Y también tenemos en el Congreso un acto del 219 de los carros calientes que se puede pasar ahora, no se ha pasado, que requiere de la compañía de carros que ellos tengan una tecnología que le puede avisar, como en este carro que tenemos aquí ahora mismo, a los padres que hay un niño detrás del carro que lo avisa enseguidamente cuando ellos salen del carro. At this moment, I'm going to ask Susa Oriema to come forward for Kids and Cars and talk to you about some of the stats and some of the technology that we have available.
Thank you, Councilman. My name is Sue Oriema. I am the VP for kidsandcars.org, and I want the public to know that what happened last week here in the Bronx was not an isolated event. The Rodriguez family is not alone. On average, 38 children a year die in hot cars. Last year, we saw 53 children die in hot cars, and in just over half of the cases, it was a situation like this, where the parent set off to work with a daycare drop on the way. The parent believed they dropped off at daycare and, in fact, drove on to work. And many people are asking, how could this possibly happen? This has nothing to do with how much a parent loves or does not love their child. We all adore our children. Clearly, Mr. Rodriguez adores his children. It has to do with a failure of the brain's memory. It has to do with overtaxing our brains in this day and age. And when the autopilot takes over our conscious memory, it allows us to drive and believe that we've made a stop and go on with our day. So we want parents to understand these are preventable tragedies. In just over half of the cases, it's a situation where a parent meant to drop off at daycare and did not. So there are steps parents can take. Having a system with your daycare center, a call-in system. If your child doesn't arrive on time, they call you, and if they can't reach you, they call the next person on the list until they reach someone and let them know the baby hasn't arrived. Also, putting your handbag, your computer bag, your work badge, something you need at your destination in the back seat every time you get in the vehicle, even if you're not the parent who drives every day. This forces you to what we call look before you lock and check the back seat. So we want parents to understand, most importantly, the biggest mistake you can make is thinking this couldn't happen to you. It could happen to anyone. It's happened to hundreds of families since 1990. Over 900 children have died. There's been great discussion about educating parents, and parents need to be more aware. The awareness efforts, the education efforts, thanks to the media, thanks to people like this councilman, are at an all-time high. And yet, last year's numbers were at an all-time high. This tells us that education alone will not solve the problem, but technology is available and affordable. There's aftermarket technology parents can add to their vehicle. There's a device called Sense-A-Life that can be added to your car seat today. And there are cars like Hyundai coming out with integrated technology, and we're going to demonstrate this vehicle. This is really the ultimate answer, and we applaud the councilman for urging the federal government to pass the Hot Cars Act of 2019. Because the technology will prevent children from being left in vehicles. We need a system that will detect the presence of a child, and the Hyundai system does this. So I don't know if you want to go ahead and do a demonstration now?
Absolutely. So we're going to do a demo.
Do you want to speak or shall I?
Of the vehicle?
Okay.
Unless you have any questions.
Okay. So this vehicle is equipped with a system that starts with being triggered by opening the rear door. When you open the door at the beginning of your trip, it sets the system up so that when you arrive at your destination, when you turn the car off, there's an alert on the dashboard. That's the first line of defense. It says check the rear seat. Several other manufacturers have come out with this. Hyundai's taken it a step forward and gone one notch up by adding a motion sensor. There's ultrasonic technology in the back seat. So Donnie and I are going to demonstrate. I'm going to put Donnie in the back seat like I'm taking him to daycare. So we start by opening the back door.
Can I go to the mic?
Yeah, we got it. Oh.
Yeah, go ahead. So what do you want me to do?
So we're going to open the back door and put Donnie into the car. The windows are open. It's not hot. He's in the shade, so he will be safe. And then I'm going to get in and start the vehicle. And then once I turn the vehicle off and set the alarm, there will be a little bit of a delay, but you'll see that any motion inside is going to set this alarm off, and you cannot miss the alarm. Up. So up. There you go. You start the car. Sorry, we'll have the councilman start the car. So as if he's gone off on his trip. Now, if the councilman turns the car off and then exits the vehicle, we might need to close that back door to lock the vehicle. Can we close the back door on the right? I'm I'm afraid it won't set off otherwise. Yep. So close. Okay. Okay. So now when you turn the vehicle off and exit the vehicle, and the councilman's going to lock the vehicle. No, don't open the door. Lock the vehicle. And then if you walk away from the vehicle, it's sensing that the key fob is leaving, and there you go. So now Donnie's safe because the alert went off and let us know that there was a person inside the vehicle.
Excellent. Any questions? ¿Cómo fue la pregunta? La propuesta que estamos pidiendo, el número uno, rápidamente, es que vamos a pasar una ley en el Consejo Municipal para que se requiere la tecnología en los carros para que alerta a los padres que hay un niño en el carro cuando ellos salgan del carro. También a nivel estatal llaman una resolución que se haga ilegal dejar a su niño solo en el carro. Tercero, el acto del 2019 del carro caliente. A nivel federal vamos a poner una resolución llamando al Congreso que pase esa ley. Y tercero, que para que los carros, las multas sean más altas donde hayan las ventanas tan oscuras.
How much does this technology cost to install in a vehicle?
So this vehicle, as well as our Santa Fe SUV, so two of our vehicles, come standard with our rear occupant alert system, which will give you the alert once you've opened and closed the rear door. We then package the ultrasonic sensor on various versions of both the Palisade and the Santa Fe. We'll be making it standard across many of our models for 2022. The Palisade starts at just about $32,000 across the Hyundai model line. Yeah. So there are two stages to our rear occupant alert. It is triggered by the rear door being opened and closed during a key cycle. So say you put your kid or your pet into the back seat, you go run your errands, you turn off the vehicle. As soon as you turn off the vehicle and open your door, you get an alert in the dashboard that says check rear seats. If you ignore that alert and you walk away and you lock the vehicle as demonstrated by the commissioner, and it senses motion within the vehicle, the alarm will sound. And if you have the My Hyundai app connected, you will also get an alert on your mobile phone, on your smartphone, saying a rear occupant alert has gone off. Please check the vehicle.
You have to dismiss the alert from your dashboard so the alarm will go off?
You need to unlock the vehicle with your key.
So it's like an airbag when we're saying someone's sitting in pressure sensing.
It's a motion sensor.
What happens if there's no motion, though? Like if you walk away from the vehicle and your child's sleeping, it's motionless if you're like well inside work.
Right. Well, as Sue said, education is key, and this is an aid to help parents and help families to keep this from happening. Technology, in any case, is not a solve-all, but this is just another layer to help aid people in keeping this from happening.
Will the horn still go off, though? Like even like if it's been like 5 minutes?
It will require motion detection.
But
if it happened a half hour later?
Yeah, if the child moved like a half hour, like 5 minutes later,
Correct,
would it still go off when the horn goes? So at least people walking by might be able to.
Correct.
Okay.
It would have certainly helped in this case.
Yeah, absolutely.
It would have definitely alerted people.
Do you want me to show this
Yeah,
quickly?
please.
This is one sample. Sorry, this is one sample of aftermarket technology. It's called Sense Alife. I'm sorry, I don't know the price of this off the top of my head, but I believe it's under $100, if even close to that. And it includes two pieces that come. It's very simple to install. This slides under the lining of the car seat. It's a weight sensor, and this piece attaches with double-sided sticky tape to the side of the driver's seat. It has an audible alert, And you can also attach this via an app to your cell phone. So if you get out of the vehicle and the baby is in the car seat, it sets off a verbal alert that your child is in the car seat. And if you don't take the baby out of the car seat, you then get a message on your app indicating that you still have a child in the car seat. So this is available, it's affordable. All parents could add this to their car seat today. Sense a Life, and they're at sensealife.com. And they didn't pay me to endorse their product, I promise.
Councilman, can you talk more about you saying having sensors in all cars? That's your legislation.
I think it's an imperative. I think in this day and age, when we have the technology, where we know that it works, when we know that it's pragmatic, when we know that in these cases it's not intentional, we don't have intentionality in the part of the parents, why is it that we are still stalling? At the congressional level, it baffles me. I think it's imperative that it's passed now, that we have bipartisan support, because we're talking about children's lives that could be saved. It's preventable. That means we could take the next steps here to save the next lives. We just had, since then, more cases. So this is not going to stop by itself. It's not going to stop just by good intention. We need action, and we need it right now. Thank you so much.
Councilman, just one other question. Like you mentioned that some of the resolutions, at least one of the resolutions you were wanting to pass was what it would make it illegal to leave kids in the car. Like, what would that entail? Is that like, leaving them for like a few minutes with the car running? Is that, I mean, do you know exactly how all-encompassing?
Yeah, I mean, the idea is, first, we will have hearings, we will have advocates, we will have the experts come in. They will let us know what are we talking about here, what's the context. But at the end of the day, what we're trying to do is raise the level of consciousness, just like we have with pets. And rightly so. I'm an animal advocate, number one in the council. Why can't we have the same consideration for children? It's just, to me, it's just shocking.
Okay. Thank you, Tom.
Thank you. That's it. One. Thank you so much. You guys are wonderful.
Thank you.
So we've been watching as Councilmember Fernando Cabrera announces new legislation to prevent hot car deaths. The bill mandates having sensors in vehicles to alert if kids are in the car. Some vehicles already have these technologies, but Cabrera is calling on lawmakers to make it a standard practice. The bill would also increase the penalty of having tinted windows, as well as make it illegal for parents to leave their kids in the car. This comes after the tragic deaths of two one-year-old twins in the Bronx last week. The car that they were left in had tinted windows. Cabrera questioned if the outcome would have been different had a passerby been able to see the children in the back seat. The councilmen and advocates also demonstrated technology in a Hyundai vehicle that comes standard in this specific model, including an alert on the dashboard. There is also a motion sensor, so if the driver walks away while someone is in the back seat, a loud alarm goes off after motion is detected. A similar feature will be standard in different vehicles by 2022. Right now, we're taking a quick break. We'll be right back here on CBSN New York.